Okay, going back to solving, jumping to number 18, we're going to be solving the inequalities, the exponential inequalities. So we know that to solve an equation or an inequality, what do we want? What's our first step? Same base, right? So the question is 128 to a certain power 1024? Maybe 128 squared. Nope, that didn't work. Okay, so 128 squared is 16,000. It's already way too much. So we need to start thinking of numbers to certain powers that give you these numbers. So let's try maybe like 4.
No,
4 doesn't work, not even 128? 2?
7.
8? Let's try 8. Okay, so how about this? 8 to the what? 8 to the third? It's 512. Didn't work. 8. 2 to the 7th. Okay, let's try that on a calculator. 2 to the 7th. That's 128. Okay. So the question is, if 128 right here, this guy, if it's 2 to the 7th, that's great. But what about this 1024? It has to be 2 to something. Maybe 2 to the 9th? 2 to the 13th? I don't know. 2 to the 10th. Right? So if you try 2 to the 10th on the calculator, it really will give you 1024. So 2 to the 10th. So with the calculator, we found out that this guy was really 2 to the 10th power. But notice that it's still in the denominator position, and we don't want it in the denominator position. So I'm going to take this 2 to the 10th, and I'm going to move it up here, and it's going to become 2 to the negative 10th. Does that make sense? So my new parenthesis is not even going to have a fraction anymore in it. My new parenthesis is going to have a 2 to the negative 10th power inside the parenthesis. Now we still have, okay, so let's go back and go through what we've done so far. We've just changed the base. That was step 1. It was kind of challenging. We still have this power right here, so let me rewrite it. We still have the inequality right here. And we still have the power of 2x that needs to come down on this one. So at this point, you have the same base. You can either distribute first, then cancel out the bases, or cancel out the bases, then distribute. I want to distribute first this time. 7 times x is 7x. 7 times 3 is positive 21. You have the inequality less than right there. And then the other one, negative 10 times negative 2x, it's going to be a negative 20x. Now, you know what? At this point, why should I even put the big 2 right here and the big 2 over here? Let's just skip that step because we know we're going to cancel them out anyway. This is our new inequality. So let's solve this thing by subtracting 7x, subtracting 7x. You're going to have 21 is less than negative 27. (27x), that is. And final step here, we're going to divide by negative 27. Divide by negative 27. So since you are dividing by negative, you're going to have to flip the inequality symbol. So keep in mind your x is on your right side. The 21 over 27 is on your left side. But you have to flip that inequality symbol, it becomes greater. But then again, the correct answer should have the x on the left and the number on the right. So the better answer would be x, which means that you have to flip it again, because if it's opening up to the fraction, it has to continue opening up to the fraction. So you have the negative 21 over 27, but you have to keep it consistent. It has to stay open to the fraction. So that's your final answer right there. Thank you, Hayden. We're going to reduce. So that's not your final answer. Wait. Reduce by 3. And we get x is less than negative 7 ninths. Ta-da. So, no. Boom. Number 16. What are you going to change the bases to? So what's this first fraction going to become? 2 to the negative 3. Perfect. And how about over here, the 4, what's that going to become? 2 to the 2 squared. And of course, on the first one, you have the x minus 6. You have the inequality. Over here, you have the 4x plus 5. You're going to have to do power to a power, which means multiply, which means you're going to have to distribute. So negative 3 times x, negative 3x, negative 3 times negative 6, positive 18. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing 2 steps in one. I'm just canceling out. I'm distributing. I'm rewriting my inequality. So over here, when I distribute 2 times 4, that's 8x. And then 2 times 5, that's 10. So all we need to do now is get the x's on one side. I'm going to subtract 8x, subtract 8x. So I'm going to have negative 11x. Now I might as well cancel out the 18, subtracting 18 to move it to the other side, doing 2 steps in one. Now I'm going to have a negative 8 on the right side. So I have negative 11x is less than negative 8 on the right side. Which means that when I just divide by negative 11, I'm going to end up with a positive fraction. And I'm also going to have to flip the inequality, because whenever you divide by a negative, you have to flip the inequality symbol. So you have 8 over 11 as your final answer. X is greater than 8 over 11.